You're listening to Freak Fiction.
We got shit to say, people!
Hey Freaklings, are you in the Tulsa, Oklahoma area? Did you realize you wanted a Batman onesie? Or refurbished furniture? Even antique Halloween decorations when the season's upon us? Go to Quizzies in Broken Arrow at 418 North Main Street, 74012, and get comics, records, or even a unique lamp or a pair of funky sunglasses. Don't fall for overpriced vintage outlets or smarmy exchanges. Support your local comic book shop or thrift store, which Quizzies is both. Tell them the Freak sent you, and watch them look at you weird, or read your message but never respond.
Welcome back, everybody. I didn't know you were gonna start. Oh man. Well, hello everybody. Welcome back. It's episode 2 of Freak Fiction. We got Rudy and Adam here.
Hey Freaklings.
Yo, what's up?
So did you guys have a good weekend?
Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was pretty interesting.
Did you worked?
Yeah, I hate working. I don't like talking about working. Also, I don't want anyone to know where I work, so they'd like stop by and be like, "Hey, Rudy, what's up?" Like, no, dude, I need to be working.
Yeah, that was basically me. Like I've been like all evenings working until like 11, and then staying up until like 5 a.m. playing video games. And then passing out, and then waking up at 1 o'clock like, oh shit.
I had a dentist appointment the other day, and I gotta tell you, I hate the dentist. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's just, it doesn't hurt or anything, it's just so uncomfortable when there's like 7 tools in your mouth and like 2 people hovering over you. It's like
an alien abduction.
Well, it's what's funny you bring that up. I used to have nightmares when I was a kid about aliens like pulling my teeth out.
Oh.
So like ever since I was like 6 years old, I've been just like terrified of dentists.
When your teeth are like fall out or get pulled out, whatever in your dreams or whatever, there's a specific symbolism, but I can't remember what it is right now.
I used to know too. I have that dream a lot where like you said, I have a lot of dreams about aliens and a lot of dreams where my teeth just fall out for no reason.
Dude, isn't that weird? Like, especially when I was a kid. I mean, I haven't had a nightmare in a long. I mean, I wouldn't consider it a nightmare because I'm like not really scared of anything like I was as a kid.
I mostly have dreams now. It's dreams that don't make any sense at all.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I had a dream the other day. I was just doing laundry. It was like, what the hell? Like, is this does this mean I'm gay? Like, I don't know.
Like, anytime I have a nightmare, usually like it involves like me somehow losing my eyesight or like my brain just withering away, and those are the main things that freak me out, really.
Or the dreams where it's like you're trying to run or whatever, but you're like moving real slow, or you try to yell, but you can't like yell loud enough.
Never had that one.
Never had a dream like that?
I've never had that one.
I used to have this dream, as another one, when I was a kid, and I would be riding my bike around the neighborhood, and some guy was starting to chase me. And this would happen, it was a reoccurring dream.
I've had chasing
dreams. Someone is chasing me, and I'm trying to run, but I can't move, but like in slow motion, and then I try to yell like for my mom or my dad, and I just like,
Yeah, when I was little, the main...
It freaked me out, and I'd wake up, and I'd be like, oh god damn.
When I was little, the main like nightmare that I'd have, or like recurring theme, was like some sort of insect or whatever would land on my skin, and then all of a sudden like larvae would come out, and then my body would just like transmogrified, become like a Cronenbergian body horror.
The Fly.
Yeah. And that's also...
Yeah, like I said, my dreams now, it's like, the other day I just dreamt I was doing laundry.
Well, mainly my dreams
like, what the hell?
that are bad now.
That was it. It was just me putting stuff in the washer, sitting there, like folding clothes. I'm like, this is boring.
Mainly my bad dreams now are like just me at work, working.
Yeah, isn't it?
I'm lucky that I have never had a dream about my job. I'm so glad. Like I'd be terrified if I had a dream about my job.
Dude, I was only like 3 days in at my job, and like I was having dreams that I was working there. But like the coolest kind of bad dream of it was like I was working my job, but it was in the Snowpiercer train. You guys have seen Snowpiercer, right?
No.
I recognize it. That's why I kind of like. That's why I was laughing. I kind of recognize it.
Damn it! It's a really good movie. Check it out. It's based off a French comic.
I was gonna say I've seen somebody post something. I've seen like maybe on IO9 or something.
It's on Netflix. Check it out, guys.
Have you guys ever go to IO9?
I've never. So Snowpiercer.
It's really good.
Okay,
Chris Evans is in it, man. It's one of his
like
better
really?
acting. Yeah, he's the star.
So it's a newer thing.
Yeah, it was independent, but if you look at it, you'd never know it.
But like you were saying, like how like you don't have any bad dreams anymore. Mm-hmm. All my dreams now are like a fusion of just normal, just random dreams, and then like it'll escalate from, oh my god, this sucks. Well, it's kind of peaceful. Like my dreams are all over the place. Like I had a dream that it was first person, and I was on a bus, and the bus it was like a school bus, and it was being driven off of a cliff. It was a waterfall, and there was like a lake on the bottom. It was being driven off the cliff. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? We were going off the cliff, and right when it hits the water, it pans out, and now it's like third person. It's like an overhead shot, and the person I was looking through their eyes, I can see them now, and when they surface, it turns out I was looking from the perspective of a black guy with an afro. I was like, what the hell? I woke up like, what was that dream even about?
Yeah.
I think you
maybe you're secretly black.
I think you just pitched the new Quantum Leap series.
I smell a sitcom.
Oh. And then like one of the scariest dreams I had, all the really horrible dreams happened when I was like a little kid. Mm-hmm. Like because my parents didn't care what I watched, so like I used to stay up at like 2 a.m. in the morning and like watch like 2 a.m. in the morning instead. Kind of redundant, but like I used to watch like horror movies and stuff. I'd be watching like the original Alien and like Nightmare on Elm Street and shit, and like my parents used to be big fans of Tales from the Crypt.
Oh,
and I had a dream that I was like inside his like mansion. But I was him. I was like spying on people. Like people were pulling up in the driveway, and I was him from his perspective, looking out like through the windows at him.
That's actually cool.
I don't know. For whatever reason, it really freaked me out. Like I don't know. I think it was just because I was scared of the death of that show.
How old were you when you were having a dream? Whatever.
Probably like 4 or 5.
Oh shit!
That's because you were becoming self-aware. So to you, it was scary going into someone else's perception.
Yeah, I guess. But like, well, no, the intro. There used to be a lot of '90s shows where the intro would scare the shit out of me, but I'd come back after the intro came on, and even though the show still scared the shit out of me, I'd still love it.
Yeah,
like
Tom Baker, Doctor Who. That theme was always scary.
Yeah,
like whenever my friend's dad was watching it, I was always in there. Like watching, I was like, "What? I don't know what this show is, but it's awesome."
Like I used to like Tales from the Crypt. The music itself and like the scenery where it's going through is like his mansion and slowly going underground to the crypt area.
Yeah.
And I used to like anticipate. I would be like on waiting edge from the pop out and start laughing. And I used to leave the room sometimes. Like I don't want to see him. And then like that, I'd hear his laughing. Okay, he's gone. And come back.
If I remember correctly, at some point in time, X-Files and Tales from the Crypt were on at the same time. So I'd be switching.
X-Files.
When it got scary at X-Files, I'd switch to Tales from the Crypt. When it got scary there, I'd switch back to
X-Files was another one I used to watch. I still love those shows. Just whenever I was little, I was like, oh, what the fuck? But and then Are You Afraid of the Dark? Like,
the Nickelodeon show.
Yeah, the intro to Are You Afraid of the Dark.
It's on Netflix now.
It is.
Yes.
I need to watch that. I need to watch that again.
Is it like in the beginning? It's like, Are you afraid of the dark? And they like light a match or whatever. Is that what that was?
Yeah.
And they're all sitting around the campfire.
And the credits would roll while the match was still smoking.
Yeah.
See, like my parents, I guess I wouldn't say I'm fortunate, but my parents never let me watch anything like that as a kid.
Yeah.
Until I got older and like started like staying the night at a friend's house and stuff. Like that's when I kind of was exposed. Like you know, I remember going to my friend Casey's house one night, and his mom was like, "Hey, Casey just got this new movie. He's been watching it a bunch. Do you think it's okay if Mike watches it?" And my dad was like, "Fuck no." It was Idle Hands.
Oh, I love Idle Hands.
And after like as the night went on,
movies,
we all, I mean, I watched it anyway, of course.
It's cool.
It didn't scare me because it was like
it's really well constructed.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, and then it's also got like
pretty damn good.
It's also got a funny aspect to it too.
Lead singer from The Offspring gets his scalp ripped off.
Seth Green. That's like the first time I ever remember seeing him in anything.
Yeah.
Speaking of like getting your scalp, like or your piece of your body ripped off, I had like a waking dream. Like that was the waking dream I had today. Like people like for some reason. Like, people thought my beard was, like, a mask, so they kept trying to pull my beard away. I'm like, no, fuck, stop it. It's not a mask. I woke up, I was like, what the fuck was that?
That's the end of the meta postmodern Scooby-Doo.
But instead of somebody else, it's just blood and bones.
Getting back to the being a kid and getting self-aware thing is, like, did you know that the main reason that when you're little, when you come up with imaginary friends is because you're becoming aware of your self-aware and your own perceptions and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that you work through all of this is by giving that another identity. So that way it's like, oh, that's not me. And then you realize eventually when your friend disappears, your imaginary friend disappears, that's when you're like, oh, I now know who I am.
I don't think I've ever had an imaginary friend. Like not one that lasted.
When I was a kid, I had like imaginary dinosaurs. Like,
yeah, that's cool.
Like, oh, my dinosaur is just up there flying in the sky. And people like,
I had dinosaurs.
Dude, you're 19. No, okay. I was probably like
my room was
3 or 4.
My room was basically Jurassic Park because after seeing that movie for the first time, like
that was my favorite movie.
Yeah, I was obsessed with dinosaurs. I still know a lot about them, and I still try to keep up with like paleontology and stuff.
Just like every kid that saw.
Like I really liked dinosaurs and sharks when I was a kid.
That was one of my first movies to see.
Jurassic Park, what got me into things, not just dinosaurs, but it got me into like chaos theory.
Yeah.
Not only that, but like
like bioengineering and stuff like that.
Yeah. Not only that, but like actually discussing like repercussions of everything.
Yeah.
Like it's like because like the whole rant about you're packaging life and selling it, and it's getting upset, and that was like a heavy, deep scene in like what's supposed to be allegedly, It's aimed towards kids, but it's actually kind of a scary movie if you're a kid.
Yeah, really, dude. Like the raptors.
The raptors are the scariest thing. Yeah.
I used to have nightmares about those.
I got a funny story from whenever we first saw it. I saw it whenever it first came out. Like I was like 2 or 3, maybe almost 3 when it came out, and my dad tells me this every time we get something about Jurassic Park comes on or something reminds him of Jurassic Park. He always has to remind me of the story. Whenever he took me to go see it, it was me, my mom, and my dad. It was before my sister was born, and he said every time the music would get tense and like something scary was about to happen, I'd be like, I need to go to the bathroom, and then he'd have to take me out and then go to the bathroom, come back. And he said whenever he finally saw it on TV, when they started airing it on TV, he's like, I don't remember this part. I don't remember this part either. Like he did like a third of the movie he missed because I got so scared. I'm like,
I gotta go to the bathroom. That's funny, dude.
That's
hilarious.
Yeah, that's just like a 5-year-old thing to do.
So anyway, what's up, Rudy?
Real quick, just to finish this off, like because I've been babysitting since I was like 7.
Yeah,
right? Because
you always had younger siblings or
cousins and nephews and stuff. And so like the time that actually like happened to me, and I had to keep taking one of my nephews to the bathroom, it was during Spider-Man 3. And it wasn't because it was scary. It's just that because
maybe he just realized it was a shitty movie. He's like,
it was probably that. But no, it's just like I was planning on going to see Spider-Man 3 by myself.
Yeah.
And then like my mom and dad called, and they ended up like babysitting my nephew, and they're like you're gonna go see the new Spider-Man movie, right? And I'm like, yeah, because obviously. And they're like, why don't you bring me over? I'm like, I like to go there like 45 minutes early, so I can get a good seat and I can have a pregame pee and poop.
Yeah, that's important to any movie-going experience.
Exactly. So he had to come with me and hang out for 45 minutes before the movie started, and so we were just playing video games and stuff before the movie started. But and then you got to factor in like 20 minutes of previews, and then. Obviously superhero movies in general are like always like 2 hours and 20 minutes now to begin with. So it's just I don't think he actually had to pee. I just think he just got bored. He just like I'm not down for watching Spider-Man.
I don't want to sit down for another hour and a half watching this.
Yeah.
Excuse me. There's the first burp of the evening.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Or it's actually it's afternoon.
Yeah.
We're all sitting here drinking soda and.
Let's just all plug the soda company.
Yeah, it's called Mocha-Chola.
And the flavor is raspberry
tits.
Pooped?
Raspberry tits.
Just say we're drinking Slurm.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
For Futurama.
I always thought it'd be cool if they came out with like an actual...
Slusho!
Like Slurm... Oh, sorry, I just hit the thing.
Yeah.
An actual Slurm drink. Because there was a Duff...
The Duff beer.
Energy drink.
Oh, energy drink, yeah. I remember
it was an energy drink, and they used to sell it at the mall, and I would just buy them just because I was like, oh, I was drinking Duff,
I remember that, yeah. I remember that. Okay.
Is there anything you guys want
to
talk about?
Here's something, like, I don't know if you guys saw it, but I saw it a little earlier. They're going to go, it's this kind of like I guess an update on the last podcast. Was like first before let's get into this, like we got a hell of a good response from the last podcast.
We did.
Yeah, that was pretty nuts.
Yeah, like we set up like our Facebook page in like a day. Like you said it while I was at work.
75 likes so far. I think that's pretty good. Just
dude,
for
like in one day, like 65 people.
Yeah, and like on the SoundCloud has like 40 or 50 views now.
Yeah.
Yes, and
then that spiked up like the other yesterday morning. I looked up and it was like there was only like 19.
Yeah, and I got like 3 messages of like, oh, it's really good. When's the next one? And like we're working on it.
Yeah, my friend Amelia had sent me a message too. She's like, hey, I just listened to the first half of it. I love it so far. It reminds me of these 2 other podcasts that I listened to, and I'm like, that's really good to hear because like when you listen to yourself, I mean, I'm not sure if you guys are the same way. I'm like, God, I sound like a fucking retard.
Yeah, same here. And like we did not have a structure at all.
There was nothing we really. It was
just all free flow. We just whatever came into our head.
I was just surprised like by the positive response so quickly.
We'd like to thank you guys for that.
Yeah. And if you haven't already, go to our Facebook and like it, or I'm gonna kick you in your tits. Or
but like for me, like, cause like to me, like the second that the page was made, like all of a sudden it became like not like an actual job, but it's what I cared about the most at that time.
Yeah.
So I like literally invited one by one all 4,100 of my Facebook friends. And I'm still
getting notifications now to where it's like so and so liked.
I still advertise that on like every page that I advertise my house shows on. So I just pretty much treat it like any other show that I was doing.
Yeah, I've been plugging it at my work a lot too. Like, hey, we did podcasts the other day. You want to check it out?
I never got such a great response from an actual like house show that I was putting on. I never got such a good response. Like quickly, I mean.
It's really cool too. I mean. Thanks again to Quizzies too if they're listening.
Oh yeah, thanks a lot
for letting us plug your business. Quizzies is probably like my favorite place now.
I'm a happy father. This is our baby. This is our first official sponsor.
And we're actually working on 2 other sponsors right now. I don't want to get out anything just in case they say no or whatever.
Just in case they drop the hammer on
us
and say no.
I didn't think we talked to a couple so quick.
Neither did I.
Not that, but it's actually like suited exactly for us, and we actually go there and we actually hang out and so on and so forth. And we really want you guys to shop there so we can keep going.
Quizzies seriously is the coolest local. I mean,
let's talk about
locally owned comic book shop.
Yeah,
because I mean you've got like the vintage titties. So I'm just gonna call it that because I don't want to give out that or whatever.
Like it's just a cool place to work for the people that work there. They don't actually really care.
Yeah, I mean, like
everyone that I've talked to like doesn't really care. All the older people that I knew, like when I first started coming, they would like hang out and were personable, but then they hit it out, and then just like hipsters came in.
Yeah, vintage stock isn't as cool as when I was a kid. Dude, that was like that was I used to go there on Saturdays with my grandma, and she'd give me like $3. I'm like, dude, I'm buying 3 comics. That's
I haven't been back since they turned me down for a job. They took me to like a group interview.
You actually made it to an interview.
Yeah,
that never got past the application process.
I'm pretty sure one of the dudes they had there was fake. He was somebody planted by the store to give all the right answers to set an example for us because everything he said was spot on, 100% proper, like pristine, was the exact thing you should say.
Was he wearing like a suit?
He was just talking about like people interaction, or are you talking about like comic and movie stuff?
Everything, like people interaction, like he knew he knew the layout, he knew the layout of the store. He knew how to they asked one of the questions they asked was like, if a customer walks up to you, like how and they like something that you don't like, what would you do? And then the guy was like, well, it's not my job to judge them for what they like, and everybody's free to like whatever they like, and blah blah blah. And
that's another thing about that I like that I don't like about certain like comic shops or something. It's just like an elitist attitude.
Yeah.
Geek culture in general is about like passionately loving and sharing what you enjoy.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, fuck you. You don't like this. Fuck you.
I went to Vintage Titties on Free Comic Book Day, the one that's close here by my house.
Yeah.
On free because it's like, hey, fucking Free Comic Book Day. I'm gonna go. There was 2 people in the store.
Oh, that's sad.
And 2 people working, and I was like, it's Free Comic Book Day. Are you guys? He goes, oh, we don't deal with that crap. And I was like,
that's bullshit.
Those are his words verbatim. And I went and told the manager, I'm like,
it's Free Comic Day. You guys don't do shit?
She goes, we don't acknowledge that here. I'm like, It's not like a fucking religious holiday.
Hey, welcome to Starbucks. No, you don't get any coffee.
It's like...
Welcome to Walmart. No, you're not going to get
I'll drive all the way out to Broken Arrow to go to that Vintage Titties before I go to the one here because everybody who works there is like...
a douche.
They're stuck up. They're, it's like you try to get like in a passionate conversation, that's what being like into that shit is all about. Is like just being so passionate about what you love.
And that's really great. It was like when you go to certain...
and they just look at you like they're fucking like... you know what I mean?
Buy something and get out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you said about being passionate. That's one of the things they said they weren't looking for. They said they weren't looking for the most passionate. They're not looking for somebody who knows everything about the subject.
That's why your store sucks.
They're not looking for they're not looking for the guy who knows it all about comics and music and video games and stuff. Yeah. They just want somebody who will work for them, who's nice.
I mean, dude,
that's all they want.
I've made a lot of money off of them just from buying those. Dude, there's so many dollar comics in there that I've made like $15 off of before. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
at least like that vintage stuff.
Because sometimes they just go through,
That's another thing like I love that I miss about having like the game exchange and Broken Arrow. Because like the people that worked there were like so personable, like hung out, and they actually wanted to have discussions with the customers.
I mean, but they didn't have any comics there at all, really, though.
It's a game exchange. I was
going to say,
I'm not a huge gamer. I went there to get movies.
Yeah, that's
and that's what we usually talk about when I came in. But they always recommended me like, hey, you might like this game, and so on and so forth. And I was like,
what's really so great about Quizzies? It's one of those places you can go into and you can create a personal relationship with the people who work there, and they've got. Also, so many cool like collectibles.
I'm gonna post a picture on the Facebook page, but that is where I got the kick-ass Christopher Reeves as Superman bust.
He's got a bust of the Christopher Reeves Superman.
That's badass.
At Quizzies.
Yes,
it's so cool.
I'll show you the picture. I'm gonna post it on the the Facebook episode.
But if you're not doing anything on this weekend or you're just bored or whatever, just go on down there and tell them that we.
But my plans
told you about it and
go there.
Go buy comics
right now. Go there
or records or
pause this
store items
or put this on your.
We're gonna be here when you get back. Go to the store.
Pause this or put it on your portable music listening device and listen to this shit on your way to Quizzies.
Yeah, listen to us talk about Quizzies as you go to Quizzies.
Yeah.
Yes,
and then tell Quizzies tell Quizzies that you were listening to us while we were plugging Quizzies.
Yeah, when I saw that, that's enough. But yeah, we're not gonna. I don't want to browbeat them, but no, when I saw that bust hanging out there, I was like, is that Christopher Reeve Superman? He's like, oh yeah, man, that's someone custom made that. And then I'm like, can I look at that? And he's like, yeah. And then he brought it down and he showed it to me. It's a little beat up, like the paint's chipping because it wasn't stored properly.
It's pretty old too.
Yeah, but it's so great. The thing is like almost bigger than my head.
There's number 2.
Oh damn, yeah. And,
sorry about that.
And I asked him how much it was. I was expecting it to be like
$300.
Yeah, a ridiculous number that I couldn't afford.
Yeah.
And it was just like super cheap. And
how much did you pay for if you don't?
How much did I pay for it?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fucking say.
Dude,
I'm not gonna say on the podcast.
Write it down. Just write it down.
I'll tell you. Okay.
Just write it down on that piece of paper.
Okay. Ready?
Really?
Yes.
Holy cow!
That's how much it costed. Yes.
How much it costed.
Anyways, my plan for it is to.
That's amazing.
I know.
Well, you don't know this, folks, but it was a really low number.
Yeah.
You didn't see it.
Yeah, I probably could have done
great
things.
You got a good deal on that.
Yeah, I did. But
I mean, do you plan on like refurbishing it at all, like kind of just touching it up, or do you think it will? I mean, it's not going to decrease the value of it.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not like
the what I'm planning to do with it, like, is like the paint shipping and stuff is obviously get. I know like 4 or 5 people that actually airbrush, but like they haven't gotten back to me yet. So I'm gonna like bug the hell out of them. So get the face thing. The thing that bugs me is that because they have velvet for the cape and blue velvet for what would be his suit.
Yeah.
But it's like not neat and tidy. It's like kind of all over the place.
So you like refabricate it too? And
stuff? Like give him like a nice, like the nice folds in it, like in the Man of Steel.
That'd be awesome, dude.
Like get the nice folds in for the shoulders. And I don't like the blue that they use because it's like a royal blue.
Oh yeah.
I don't want like lighter, like the actual like Christopher Reeve blue that they had. And my plan is because like. It's it's custom made and it's hollow. It doesn't. It's like just sitting awkwardly on top of one.
Dude, it's almost life size. It's probably a little bit bigger than life size.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, it's like
dude. I mean, like it's like probably about that.
It's like he's actually in your room.
It's just like his like kind of like the tops of his shoulders and then his head.
So he's just looking out over you from your bookcase or something.
Yeah, he's on top of his movie thing.
Yeah.
How many movies do you have now?
Oh, like I had to.
You lost count, or
no. Before I sold a bunch because I needed money. I got rid of all the crap. My collection's still
all the ones
intact.
you don't really like or don't really watch or whatever.
They weren't essential to my collection.
Yeah.
I had 1,549.
Holy shit!
Isn't that crazy, dude?
Yeah, but I haven't counted since then, since I sold off. But I do remember that I sold exactly 355.
So you're still about 1,000 because you bought.
I bought more since then.
You bought more since then.
Yeah.
Because I used to live with Rudy a while back, and I mean, dude, every single night we would watch a different movie, and it was like still like not even like breaking the surface of
that's what I try to do is watch a movie at night. It's when I can.
Rudy actually introduced me to a lot of movies where they're my favorite things now.
Yeah, I do that for a lot of people. Yeah.
I've always loved movies and stuff like that, but there had been
what are the movies that I introduced you to?
Four Rooms.
4 Rooms, yeah. Ed Wood, I remember.
Ed Wood, yeah. That probably is the most memorable.
Ever,
that's, and then I think we watched a couple of Wes Anderson movies that I had never seen before.
yeah.
Like Steve Zissou and Life Aquatic and whatnot.
Stuff. Yeah.
I mean, we watched a different movie every single night.
Yeah.
I mean, but there was a lot of those too that I had already seen or whatever. You know.
But you just looked for ones that you hadn't.
Yeah, and then or I would just walk in one night and everybody would just be sitting there watching a movie. I'm like, "What are you guys watching?" I was like, "Shut the fuck up, Mikey."
We're watching this.
We're watching this movie.
Yeah.
Let's get the fuck out.
Yeah. It was funny because me, Frank, and Chris all slept in the living room.
Yeah. It's a 1-bedroom house.
It was a 1-bedroom. We all would sleep in the living room, and we'd all just gather around this TV.
Dude, I gave you guys sections within the house, but you're like, no, fuck that. Everyone was like, nope.
I wanted to sleep in the closet, dude.
Dude,
I was all
the
about
closet that you want to sleep in was my bedroom for 5 years.
I know. So I was like, I want to put a bed. I mean, because it was right in the front.
Yeah.
And
yeah, but I said yeah, let's do that. But
then freaking. I don't want to say his name just in case he's listening, but one of Frank's friends used to crash all the time, and he would sleep on the couch to where me and someone else would sleep on the other couch, and me and Chris would be like,
"Where are we sleeping?
We're gonna sleep." So I remember me and Chris pulled. This is extremely embarrassing. We pulled a mattress out of a dumpster and we walked it back.
That's where you guys got that. You guys.
Chris was like, he's like, hey, let's do it. It's ready. And we slept in the kitchen for a week on that mattress.
I remember that.
That is just, I mean, I was a different person.
That was actually the same mattress that I used to bounce the sound off of in the band room.
Yeah.
So they ended up having an ultimate purpose. But yeah, getting back to the Superman.
But when I saw it, I was like, dude, this is pretty good shape. You know what I mean? It was. Tag was still on. Don't rip that shit
There's
off.
a little bit of blood on the mattress.
Yeah, just a tiny.
No, don't say blood.
No.
There's a story we don't want to go.
There is a definite story. We'll tell you. I don't want to get into this.
No one died.
Okay, let's change.
Thing that happened.
Just change subjects.
Getting back to the Superman bust. This is my plan. Okay.
Bloody mattresses.
Shut the fuck up. God, I'm getting visuals. But yeah, getting back to the Superman bust. Like I said, repaint his face. Change the capage and what I want to do is I want to go to a holistic store and buy a bunch of crystals to make that look as much as they can look like the Kryptonian crystals from the movie.
Yeah, that's badass.
And then build that as a bust. And I wanted to when I saw it in the distance when I first saw it because this plan popped in my head the second I saw it. But then I didn't realize how big it fucking was. You get a plastic or glass case and put it inside, and then make a LexCorp plaque. And have Bizarro number 23 or something.
Oh yeah.
Cool. And then make something that I got nice and affordable. Make it worth a fucking $1,000.
You can do me as Lex Luthor.
Yeah, make a bust of him.
Make a bust of me as Lex Luthor.
Well,
I'll shave.
Dude, I have friends who do actual molds and sculpts and stuff.
Yeah, that's cool stuff. You could even do
I can be Zod. I can be Zod.
Yeah, Adam will be Zod. Or you can do just.
Dude, I could be a young Michael Shannon Zod.
Yeah.
Continue.
If you were this brings up something. If you could be any superhero or villain, who would you be?
That's a loaded question.
What about do you have anybody man? I would love to have
Doctor Strange. Just because I can go to other dimensions and shit.
Yeah. Well,
see like channel spirits and stuff and badass.
Mm-hmm.
He's a sorcerer and a surgeon.
Yeah.
I would not want to be a villain.
No.
No matter how like compelling and charming they can be, I wouldn't want to be a villain.
I mean,
neither would I.
I
think being Batman would be pretty badass, just so you could have all that.
Just so you can have your pants.
See, this is what I actually would
well, yeah,
like to have.
I have to watch my parents die, but I'm also
this
really
sort of
rich.
goes along. It's kind of an answer, but it's kind of not. This is what I would like to happen. All right. Let's
you
say
get bit by a radioactive termite.
Yeah, shut up.
Go.
No, like
the tick. He wants to.
Yeah, you give me the tick.
that'd be funny. But no, like, see, when I was younger and like, again, I was watching movies. Watching movies showed me a lot about the world growing up and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Especially because I was so isolated, just being a Mexican kid in a fucking white suburban neighborhood.
Yeah.
All that, and so and not having any friends because I was the youngest person on my block. There was like no kids or anything.
When you moved here, did you speak English at all?
No. When I was young, I grew up just speaking Spanish. Oh, this goes back into this, becoming self-aware thing, so on and so forth. I thought in Spanish until like I was about 9, and then it clicked over to English.
That's weird.
And I bring that up because a while ago my brother told me that because we were having like some of the same discussion about the child self-awareness and all that because I was talking to him about his niece who was like 4 at the time, and why they're acting all kooky and all that. But yeah, he told me that he stopped thinking in Spanish when he was 23.
Whoa.
Yeah. So,
weird.
Anyways, but that's a weird, interesting thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if anyone ever wondered, yeah, people from foreign countries do think in that language. And at some point, they might switch over to English if they are around it long enough.
If they've been around long enough.
Yeah, but
so we're gonna say about the hero or whatever.
Yeah, the hero thing. Yeah. But yeah, like what movies? And then the first like other dimension movie that I ever saw was the animated / live action movie Cool World.
Yeah.
Starring Brad Pitt. Yeah. And that's a pretty weird and messed up movie.
Yeah.
But I was just like, oh shit, there's other dimensions. And then after that I saw like Super Mario Brothers, and I saw Last Action Hero, and that was like the ultimate.
They need to do that movie again.
Yeah, not with Schwarzenegger, someone else.
No.
It'll probably be like Jason Statham or something.
Or do Chris Pratt.
Oh yeah, Chris Pratt, Last Action Hero.
Cool?
That would be perfect.
I mean, he hasn't been in too many action movies yet, but I'm saying he's in that page.
He's gonna get to that.
It would definitely work.
And no one hates him yet, so it'd still be good.
No one hates him yet.
Dude,
it's a good thing.
How can you hate? He's so
likable.
He's so lovable. I mean, like, I fell for him. And,
every guy's got a man crush.
Yeah, I've got a man crush on him. Get over it, you fucks.
But to me, that would be like my ultimate, getting the golden ticket and be able to go into other movie dimensions and so on and so forth. Because before I saw Last Action Hero, I was like, wait, if there's a dimension where cartoons are real, there has to be a dimension where movies are real.
I thought the same thing.
And in theater, there has to be a dimension where superheroes are real.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing when I saw Space Jam. I'm like,
Space Jam.
Dude, the Looney Tunes are under me right now.
There's a thing where I read a couple months ago. It was like how there's increasing evidence that could suggest that the reality we live in is a 3D projection, like a 2D projection projected on a 3D like virtual world. Mm-hmm. And it sort of the article sort of brought up the the philosophical questions of like, well, what does that say about like video games and stuff? Is there a world where they're just as real as we are? Like, because I mean, if
is there a Lego movie world?
Yeah. It was pretty interesting stuff like that.
Are we imagining Legos, or are Legos imagining us?
That's kind of why, like, The Matrix. Whenever I saw The Matrix the first time, it really fucked with my head because I was like 11 when I saw it. And then it was freaking me out. I'm like, oh my god, we live in a computer, dude. Yeah. I was freaking out.
Because everything they said was like every explanation for everything was making perfect sense.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
But also that got me into like reinventing my identity, the Matrix did, because of like you had your digital self-image.
Yeah.
Like, well, there's in our world right now, there's a guy who in his body and his soul knows that he's a woman. And it could be vice versa. Well, I know for a fact, growing up, I didn't believe that my face was my face. I'm like, that's not who I am. I'm seeing someone else. This isn't who I am meant to be. And so that got me into really trying to, and like seeing, like Batman and having the strength of will to like, force himself into like perfect physical shape and perfect moral shape and everything.
Yeah.
Of like, becoming who I was. And so technically, like, whenever I was like, actually still kind of right now, like knee deep in like house shows, and like I was just like, oh, I'm exactly the kind of person that I wanted to be when I was like 13. Because I didn't believe I was that guy. I believed, like, I was like a fucking little loser, fat piece of shit, right? I became who I always wanted to be. The thing that I should have factored in whenever I was trying to become someone else was having a steady income.
You don't think about that when you were a kid, though.
Yeah, but getting back to trying to answer your hero question, right?
Get into that already, goddammit.
Yeah, sorry. Hey, our channel is kick-ass.
I'm just messing with you, man.
But yeah, no, there it is. Okay. If I could go into another dimension, the dimension where superheroes are real, this is what I would do. Now, it would depend on which universe if I would do. DC universe, Marvel universe, fucking Image Comics universe, Wildstorm universe, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Or like Scott Pilgrim universe, anything. If I knew which world that I came into, like if I came into DC, what I could do, what anyone would probably do if they did that, they'd immediately go to like Lex Luthor and be like, hey, guess what? Pay me X amount of, quadrillions of dollars, and I'll give you everything about everyone.
Yeah, it's like
do with it what you will.
I know how to kill the Superman.
Yeah, and so on and so forth.
I know. You want to know who Batman is? He's Bruce Wayne. No way, he's not Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne.
Lex Luthor is smart enough to know.
Well, like,
did you ever see the movie Mystery Men?
Oh yeah.
There was a scene in there where they're like, one of the characters was like saying, what was his name? The guy who. What's his face? The superhero in that. Oh,
Mr. Furious, Ben Stiller.
No, not Mr. Furious.
Oh, the actual hero who.
The actual hero, yeah. That, Greg.
Greg Kinnear.
Yeah,
that's the actor's name. He's a great actor.
What was his superhero name? Anyway, there's a part in the movie where I think Ben Stiller's character is like, that's
this guy.
That's this guy, and he's like, no. That guy doesn't wear glasses.
Yeah.
He doesn't wear glasses.
Hank Azaria, Blue Raja says that.
No, it was William H. Macy's character.
Yeah, William H. Macy, the shoveler.
The shoveler, yeah.
We can remember those guys. We
can't.
The asshole superhero's name.
But he wasn't really. He was kind of in it, like the beginning, the middle, and the end.
Yeah.
He wasn't really like a. That would be another cool movie to see. That they created such a cool universe. That movie. It was kind of like.
Yeah, I'd rather see.
It's kind of like a futuristic.
It
was kind of like a futuristic Gotham.
Yeah, I really loved that. That was like a real comic booky world that I enjoyed.
Yeah, I was like, man, they need to do. Dane Cook is actually in that movie.
Yeah, he was.
That was like one of his very first. He was the Waffler.
The Waffler, yeah, he burned himself.
He just like burned himself with a waffle. They had like the superhero tryouts or whatever.
Yeah, there was a lot of like comedians that like got big who made like little cameos.
Dane Cook was probably like in his early 20s when he did that.
Yeah,
wasn't Dave Chappelle in Half Baked?
Yeah, that's
he was the star of Half Baked.
He wrote
was in
that.
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Didn't he write it too?
What, Half Baked?
Yeah,
he co-wrote it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that is just like a cult classic for any stoner or whatever out there. I mean it's just. It's not because it's like a stoner movie. It's because it's really fucking funny.
It's a good funny movie. I met Harlan Williams.
You did?
Yeah, at what was it, Bare Bones Muskogee Film Festival.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, I think you told me about that.
Yeah, and like he was he's a cool, funny dude. And I saw I walked in on the movie that he was promoting that he made. You know, as Indians, it's called Fudgy Wudgy Fudge Face.
Fudgy Wudgy Fudge Face.
Yeah, a redneck befriends an alien, and I came in on it and I was like, yeah, this is total Harlan Williams humor. I'm not ready for this.
Yeah.
I just kind of walked out.
Well, what's your favorite of his movies?
Harlan Williams.
Yeah.
Oh dang. Rocket Man.
That's what I was gonna say.
Rocket Man.
Rocket Man is so...
I bought that the other day.
You did?
Yes, I haven't watched it yet.
Oh man, I love that movie so much.
We're gonna watch it together.
It wasn't me.
Let's live tweet it.
Yeah, it wasn't me. It was Julie.
Yeah, like I really.
Okay, that was me.
Yeah.
Or he's like, dude, no, that was actor. Julie.
Yeah, another great actor's in it, William Sadler. He was.
Yeah, did this
dude, when I saw that he was the president in Iron Man 3, I was like, dude, I'd fucking vote for him. I would vote for him.
Iron Man 3 was really good.
Yeah, but getting back to the original question, like, instead of like going straight to Lex Luthor and be like giving X-Men my dollars, I'd be like, no, I'd go straight to Bruce Wayne and be like, hey, I know you're Batman. I'd somehow get a meeting with Bruce Wayne. Hopefully, I just
get pushed off by security, like get out of here, you Mexican.
No. Like, in a perfect world where this did happen, I'd get a meeting with Bruce Wayne and be like, hey, Bruce, I know Clark Kent is Superman. I know this person is this, and this person is that, and this. I also know the Penguin's this, Edward Nygma's the Riddler, blah, 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 blah. Right, I know everything because it's kind of crazy, but guess what? You're Batman and you dealt with this shit. I know it for a fact you dealt with some of this shit. Yeah. I'm from another dimension. This is what I would like. I don't want any money from you. I would just like to be an apprentice. I don't want to be part of
Like,
a Bat family.
Fuck Alfred. I'm the new butler.
No, I just like I don't want to be part of the Bat family anyway. I just want you to mentor me so I can become my own hero.
Yeah, that actually is like a kind of cool like concept. I would like think that.
Copyright it, Rudy Ramone.
Don't if you steal that shit, I'm gonna
write that the second I get home.
He's gonna assassinate you if you copy.
It's kind of like The Last Action Hero in a way.
Yeah, but kind of.
But like. Kind of like,
dude, we're like
verse.
We're coming up with like our version of like Tusk.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to feel about that movie.
Dude, it's good, but it's fucked
like,
up.
It's
that's what I said.
And it came from Kevin Smith.
I know there's a few parts where I was like, just like I thought like, okay, this is supposed to be messed up. It's not. It's just awkward. Like the part where they're in the dining room and they're both laughing, and it kind of like pans out and it shows the house and they're all just like. He's screaming, and then the other guy's just like screaming with him.
Yeah,
I was like, it was just weird.
To me, that's like David Cronenberg, like just weird movies. There's not really.
I mean, it was a decent movie.
Weird,
I thought
strange.
It was. I mean, I didn't think it was like the worst movie ever. I mean, but Kevin Smith has done better, obviously.
But yeah, that's what I would do. If I could somehow get into the superhero dimension, doesn't matter which universe, it'd be like. Go to the person that I would trust and I'd want to be mentored by and be like, hey, help me become my own hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it for kicks. I'm not trying to fuck Harley Quinn or Poison Ivy or Catwoman. Although, obviously I'm going to try at some point.
Speaking of
but Nightwing, he fucking gets down and Batman's like, no, I'm too dark and sad for this. And Nightwing's like, yeah, baby, let's get this on. Oh, sorry.
It's the microphone cord.
Oh, hopefully I didn't fuck that up.
I hope you didn't either.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it?
No,
it's recording.
We're
Okay,
still
good.
recording.
Hey!
Just edit that bit out.
Yeah.
It hasn't been derailed yet.
But, speaking of like Harley Quinn and all them, the Suicide Squad thing you wanted to talk about.
No, I'd rather do that when the Suicide Squad's
Well, when he gets close. Yeah, that makes...
Working our way back to the first subject that we brought up before we went on like 25 tangents. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I saw it earlier. They're going to, or at least it seems, they're going to go ahead with a Fantastic Four sequel of the crappy Fantastic Four.
Yeah, yes. they're already like...
They interviewed...
We've already lost money, let's lose even more money.
Yeah, it's like... Why would you do it's got the like you said last time it's got the lowest rating
of any comic book movie ever.
Yeah, we should
it's like okay, yeah, let's do another one.
We already shot ourselves in the foot once. Why have feet? Let's just shoot the other foot.
Hey, dude, they went from X-Men.
I mean, they still have got Silver Surfer, right, Fox?
Yeah, just fucking do a Silver Surfer movie. Damn.
Yeah,
it's like guaranteed. If you use the Silver Surfer from the other Fantastic Four, it would be just fine.
If Marvel were to do a Fantastic Four movie, for a fact it would be freaking brilliant.
Yeah,
and they wouldn't cast a bunch of teenagers.
But getting going into that
fuckers,
that bit of information, we all, or at least I know you and I have, our Fantastic Four fan cast.
Our ideal Fantastic Four cast, who this would be.
The Fantastic Four cast.
There you go, Fantastic Four Fantastic Four fan. Four.
The Flantastic Four?
Yeah, the flamboyant four. It's like the gay version.
R4 Ford.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, let's go.
Okay, so if I were, for some reason, you can cast whoever you want in this movie. I would, Reed Richards, I would choose Timothy Olyphant. If you're not familiar with him, he was in Hitman. He was the bad guy in Live Free or Die Hard. What are some of his other movies?
What? Tell me. He was a drug dealer in Go.
Yeah, and then
I was looking at something. He was the only time I ever see him playing like a good guy character. I haven't seen that many movies that he's been in, even though he's a great actor. Sorry, was Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, he was the rookie hipster cop in that.
My Johnny Storm, I think Shia LaBeouf could do
that could
really good Johnny Storm. I mean, what's that all about? That
Shia LaBeouf,
dude. I mean, even Stevens.
Okay, listen. This is going.
He hasn't done a character, I guess, since Transformers, the first one. He was kind of goofy in that. But
saw it. Rotten Tomatoes, Fantastic Four, 2015. Tomato meter, 9%.
Holy shit.
Gosh.
Audience score, 20%.
That's not even better. It's like...
Yeah.
Okay, and then I really don't have a Sue Storm like set in mind, but my Ben Grimm. Brace yourselves, boys.
Okay.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Oh, that would be fucking great.
That would be pretty amazing.
He's
got the brute and the brawn. His voice is very distinct and stuff. I mean, because most of the time, the Thing is, well, he's just the Thing. You know what I mean? He doesn't. So I always thought that would be a really cool one too, because I don't like the direction they went with the whole like
if I could
younger.
being John Malkovich, he'd be one of the dudes that I'd being John Malkovich into.
The Sue Storm, I think, would you just got to get a pretty blonde girl and you're good.
Who's kind of smart.
It doesn't matter. She doesn't even have to be a good actress.
There's more to Sue Storm than just being a hot chick. Come on.
There's not. No, I don't think so.
No, God, every female.
She's like one of the very first female that were like main characters, like especially for Marvel.
Yeah, but I'm just saying like there's more to her or any female character than just looking good. Seriously.
I disagree.
You're talking.
I'm just kidding.
You're talking about the
okay, now you're getting me the David S. Goyer She-Hulk character. We don't want any of that shit.
We don't need She-Hulk. That's like the last movie I would ever want them to make.
Have you read the recent She-Hulk run?
No.
It is fucking adorable and great.
I don't want an adorable She-Hulk. That's like.
Okay. I'm gonna make you read at least one issue of that.
Okay, I will.
You're right. You don't need an adorable She-Hulk, but it's a good She-Hulk, and she actually has shit to do. You actually see her being a lawyer and all that.
There's very few comics that are like recently that I've read that are out now, besides Deadpool and some of the Ninja Turtles runs they've had.
We'll get into that later. Have you got your whole? Is that your whole cast?
Yeah, I just didn't. I didn't do a Sue Storm because I just.
You can't think of one.
I can't think of.
Just some.
Because Jessica Alba, I mean.
Yeah.
No.
And then whatever girl they got now.
In the Fantastic Four movie, they got the Jessica Alba from Idle Hands. Jessica Alba. I'd probably would have been okay with that.
Yeah.
But she just didn't. She was like just. I don't know. Like someone must have wrote that script like. Overnight, like
dude, like I told you.
There's that part where like she's like Ben Grimm, like when they're on the bridge or whatever, and Ben Grimm, like his wife sees him, and she like takes her ring off and like sets it on the ground, and he picks it up, and he's all like,
oh, he can't pick it up, and
he's like,
and then Reed Richards comes and picks it up for him, which is like a nice little swift.
But it was just it was such bad directing and acting and.
Meh.
I thought it would, dude. It's.
I said they're okay. It's like an old school '90s superhero movie.
I still just think it was just.
I don't know.
You're taking this way too hard. Okay, my turn.
Yeah, your turn.
My turn. This is I got. Well, when we talked about this, I didn't know if like we were supposed to do villains and stuff, so I just focused on the.
Dr. Doom was cool though.
On the team, the Jessica Alba Fantastic Four Dr. Doom was good. But I focused on the actual Fantastic Four themselves because I couldn't think of anyone to play villains because everyone's playing everybody. Anyways, I got two versions. I got the gritty version and I got if Marvel had the Marvel version.
Yeah, the Marvel version.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the gritty version. For Dr. Reed Richards, he was already in Fant Four Stick or whatever it's called as Dr. Doom, but Toby Kebbell, the guy who played Dr. Doom in that Fantastic Four movie.
As
Dr.
Reed Richards?
Yes.
Huh.
And again, this is the gritty version. For better reference of his acting quality, look at Rock and Rolla, the Guy Ritchie movie. He was Johnny Quid. Look at Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. He played Koba. And, so that's Dr. Reed Richards. For Susan Storm, her sister was Susan Storm, but I would prefer for anything, really, Rooney Mara of David Fincher, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Huh. She was also, what's her name? She's the New York Abernathy, I think, like that. She's in Youth in Revolt, that little scene Michael Cera movie, which is based off of
his love interest or whatever.
No. She was his Indian friend's love interest. They had sex with her at the
okay.
That awkward movement sex. Yeah, she was there, and she was also the star of the Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
Oh,
if you guys remember that, so that's her. Boom. Okay, for Johnny Storm. This is another younger actor go-to guy for me. Like, if you take out whatever actor and put him in instead, that'd be a great movie. Better movie, even. Anton Yelchin. He plays Chekhov in this new Star Trek movie.
Oh yeah. Charlie Bartlett.
Yeah, Charlie Bartlett. I was going to mention that. And in the remake, the great remake of Fright Night, I thought it was great. David Tennant.
I don't think I've seen
Oh
it.
yeah,
Said it's fucking great. Okay, so that's now.
He would be a really good Johnny Storm.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's a charming dude.
Yeah, he's.
And Ben Grimm, Alexander Skarsgård. He was in The East. He was in Battleship, and he was in Melancholia. Yeah, he's kind of an indie actor, but trust me, he's a great actor. This is the Marvel version now for Dr. Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, Armie Hammer. He played the Winklevosses in Social Network.
And Lone Ranger.
Yeah, he was in Lone Ranger. Those are the main things people would recognize his face from. For Sue Storm, Alison Brie from Community, Mad Men, Scream 4, and she voiced Unikitty in the Lego Movie.
Oh,
I feel like she's too cute, too you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, she can act seriously. She's in Mad Men.
That's true.
She did good stuff there. Although this would be the Marvel version, so she
has to be
kind of cutesy and serious at the same time.
Yeah.
And for Johnny Storm, Ezra Miller from Perks of Being a Wallflower. Also, we need to talk about Kevin, and he's going to play the Flash in the Flash movie.
Is he not the Flash on the TV series?
No, he's in the movie. He's going to be in the movie.
Oh.
I thought they were
connected universes.
Yeah.
The the Flash TV show and the...
No, that was officially announced a while back.
Oh.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because
No, dude,
I kept seeing things where they're posts about the.
Well, he might have dropped out since then. I don't know, but anyways.
I thought they were gonna bring him into the.
Yeah, check him out. He's a good actor, great charisma. He's got cool style, fun, nice dude. Okay. That's Johnny Storm, and for Ben Grimm, it's kind of hard to come up with a good Marvel Ben Grimm, but I don't know how you guys are gonna respond to this, but since it's gonna probably be a CGI character, although I prefer it to be a practical character. Like I said, the best that the thing ever looked was in the Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie. So it'd be cool to see him act under makeup as opposed to being a CGI character. Yeah. Andy Serkis.
Oh,
yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. He's a very versatile guy.
Yeah. He was good in King Kong.
Yeah.
Isn't he playing Ulysses Claw now, though?
Yeah.
That, which is really cool. I was reading this thing the other day, there's been, in almost every Marvel movie, I'm pretty sure since Iron Man, they've kind of done a little throwback to Star Wars where somebody gets their left hand cut off.
Yeah, I saw that. That was cool.
That's pretty awesome.
So, if you look back at that, all those movies, someone loses. Even in Guardians of the Galaxy, I was watching that the other day, and Gamora cuts off Groot's his left hand. It's okay, they dude, and then they kind of tease it to work, Ulysses Claw or whatever gets his hand chopped off by Ultron.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in the original comics, his hand was cut off during a.
But he does such a badass he does it a really good claw. I can already see it. I'm not sure if they're going to be. Well, they're doing a Black Panther, so I imagine he's going to be pretty much involved in that.
But with
your turn, sir.
The only fan casting that I could think of for this is I can't remember his name. The guy who played Hank from Breaking Bad as Ben Grimm.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't remember his name. Look up his name.
I'm gonna Google
because I keep
he would do because he.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, he's good.
He would be a great. He's kind of just falling up off of Michael Chiklis's.
Yeah. It's kind of a bigger, more serious dude for the role of Ben.
Yeah.
Grimm. He can be he's also kind of
a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's such a good actor too, man. I grew up around relatives and people who are in law enforcement, and he just does that. He portrays it just so well.
Yeah.
That's exactly how those guys act. Almost verbatim,
Yeah.
His name is Dean Norris.
Dean Norris, yeah, he was in. Did you watch what is that shit called? It's off that Stephen King.
Oh, the Under the Dome.
Under the
TV
Dome.
show.
I haven't watched that.
I watched the first season.
I watched the first 5 episodes. I just for some reason it was okay. I just wasn't super
I saw a couple episodes. I was kind of couldn't really get into it.
It was okay, but I just like I said, it wasn't so the main actor they got for it. He's just so cheesy and.
Who are you talking about? Which actor?
The blonde head kid.
Oh, okay. I know you're talking about.
He's trying to remember what else he was in.
I haven't seen that show for a while.
I think he was in a lot of movies, like in the early, like 2000s or whatever.
Yeah.
So Dean Norris, yeah, he would do a really good, freaking Ben Grimm.
Yeah.
Well, Adam just went to the bathroom, so.
Have you noticed that he's usually the only one that goes to the bathroom?
I did. Did you not see me leave like a second ago?
No, I was talking.
Dude.
Oh, dang.
I'm a ninja, bro.
You're a ninja with your pee and poop.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
It was a quick squirt, you know. Yeah. It wasn't.
God, this is gross.
Yeah.
What else is on your mind, sir?
I'm gonna wait for Adam to get back, but I kind of wanted to just address this so we could all three talk about it.
Okay.
Was the whole with Suicide Squad? I'm not talking about the fan cast or whatever.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
The Jason Todd theory.
Oh yeah.
To where I was
really interested.
Oh dang.
Yeah. Oops, sorry.
Sorry about that. Rudy had to freaking knock the table over almost.
Now, is this going to be like a recurring thing? Me getting up and going to the restroom?
Did you guys not notice I went to the bathroom at all?
Yeah. We didn't say anything about it, but like
the second
I get up and leave, like I'm just gonna have to use the restroom.
Yeah, I don't fucking asshole. Well, there was a theory going around.
I do. It's just we're over here drinking Slurm.
Yes, Slurm.
Okay.
Mocha-Chola.
The Jason Todd.
Okay, there has been rumors going around that the Joker that's going to be in the new Suicide Squad and the Batman verse. I'm not sure if he's going to be. He's probably going to show up in Batman vs Superman. Don't you think?
Yeah, it could happen.
I mean, because they tease it a lot in the trailer. You know, with with all the jokes on
What I would really
Batman.
love to see is was it Action Comics or Adventures of Superman #14? Well, anyways, there's a specific issue of Superman of recent run where like the cover is the Joker and you see like the bottom half of his face and he's opening up his shirt and a Superman symbol, and it's essentially the whole comic is Superman and Joker having a conversation, like them meeting, crazy. And then like it's really good. Check it out. Like to me, I would love like if they just filmed that verbatim, and have that like anywhere like in any like of whatever Batman vs Superman or whatever. That would be cool. That'd be a great way, because they could make the Joker like the Phil Coulson, or I guess more accurate, the Loki of the DC universe, where he pops up.
Yeah, he's cameos in every movie.
Yeah, but that would be great because the Joker's like, I got bombs going here and off, and then he pushes the button, and in a split second, like Superman's holding all of them as he's about to push the button. He's like, these. and he's like, what? How can you? He's just like, I have like ultrasonic hearing, dude. Like I can hear the frequency. I know exactly where they're located. So that would be cool.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Rudy, thanks.
Sorry,
asshole. I'm just kidding.
But yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Okay, Jason Todd.
The Jason Todd theory.
Yeah.
I read this the other day, and I was kind of just like I was listening to these people's theories or whatever on it, like why he is probably Jason Todd and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think the thing that was most compelling to me was just the tattoo.
The J tattoo.
The J tattoo on his eye.
Yeah.
I mean, that obviously could be Joker,
But like,
in the
in Batman Arkham Knight,
that Jason.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Pause this or skip over. If you
spoiler alert for anybody playing the game or wanting to play the game in the future. Just stop right now. Don't listen. Jason Todd is the Arkham Knight, and he takes off the helmet, and he has a J. Like he has a J tattoo.
It's like a scar.
Yeah, well, it's like a J scar, like a branding. He was Joker branded him. Like Joker took him Jason Todd hostage and like tortured him for a year instead of killing him like he did in the comics and the Arkham universe version. It's like the best version of the universe in my opinion too, because it's everything it references every single canon. Mm-hmm. But like he captures Joker kidnaps. Jason gets pissed that Batman hasn't killed the Joker, so he takes it on himself to go to Arkham Asylum and nab the Joker himself, because he's like, we need to kill him because he's the Joker. Otherwise he's just going to committing acts of mass murder. Mm-hmm. So Jason Todd takes it onto himself to sneak into Arkham Asylum and try to take out the Joker. And the Joker being the Joker immediately just kicks Jason's ass and chains him up and takes him to like an abandoned wing of Arkham and basically
and he beats the fuck out of him.
He tortures him for basically a year, which of course is what drives Jason crazy. And in the third game, Jason comes back as a brand new villain that Batman's never fought before, called the Arkham Knight, who wears like a military version of the bat suit. It's like mocking Batman. It has like the Arkham logo, and he's all like got urban camo up and everything. But like the Joker, like brands him. It's basically Joker kind of sort of making Jason the Joker's sidekick. He's the Joker's Robin now, but yeah, he has like he like brands him with the J underneath his eyes.
It's a lot bigger.
It's a lot bigger, yeah. But like you can see the J in the
it's almost
Batman
exactly
versus
the
Superman
same.
Joker. It's the exact same thing.
But like, it just bothers me. I think, but it also makes sense because they're trying to do a Batman who's just a little bit older. He hasn't been Batman in like 20 years or whatever.
When I first heard that,
like me and you were talking about this before, and it's like we don't know of any Joker who would sit still for any of those tattoos.
Sit still for long enough to.
But it would make sense for it to be Jason Todd and the Joker tattooing him.
The coolest thing for me about the Joker, like there's different versions of the Joker, but my favorite version is the Grant Morrison version, because essentially that they don't really tap into this much. But the Joker is Super Saiyan. Essentially, he constantly reevaluates his mental state to adapt to any situation. So, today he's like a crossdresser. Tomorrow he's like a rapper guy, which kind of makes sense with like the Pimp Daddy costume he kind of had.
Yeah.
That people were upset about, and so on and so forth. So yeah, just the thought that the Joker is more sane than the average person is the scariest thing about the Joker to me. And I wish more people would delve into that. Now, if I ever got a chance to, write for DC, not that I will. But if I ever did...
Hey, you never know, bro.
Yeah, exactly. But if I ever did, that's one of the things, like, if I ever got to write the Joker into any storyline, that's one of the things that I'd focus on. Continuing on.
But if you want to see, like, if you ever get into games, play the Batman Arkham series, they're like... Outside the comics, they're like the best Batman stories.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's like every single canon... But they combine and they reference but it's all in one shared universe and it's kind of mixed together and everything. It's just like the perfect Batman anything really. It's cool. It's really amazing.
Would you be upset if they went that direction with Joker?
Well, it's kind of hard at this moment.
We haven't seen anything.
I haven't seen a whole lot of them. I wasn't impressed with him I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to hurt you really badly.
It's a good line. Yeah.
I thought that just the way he delivered it, though. I'm like, it doesn't sound like the Joker. It doesn't sound. It just sounds like he's talking. It doesn't sound like he's insane.
But I mean, if you ever see Jared Leto just as himself, or whatever, it's a pretty phenomenal job. The always thing that's always been important to me is the laugh.
Yeah.
And it kind of teases a little bit in the trailer, and it sounded a lot like Mark Hamill's Joker.
Which is cool.
Mark Hamill does in the games.
Yeah. Mark
Hamill does. I think he's done like every single.
Mark Hamill's everyone's like audio picture of the Joker's voice or laugh.
I mean, anytime you're reading comics now and the Joker's in it, I always picture.
I'll automatically go to the Mark Hamill voice in my head.
Because it's a pretty damn good one.
Yeah.
But see, to me, like when I first heard, they were going to go an older Batman, and they're going to Jared Leto was playing Joker. I was like, why the hell Jared Leto? He's just a pretty actor. Like is. The only time I ever actually saw him actually acting to me was in Girl Interrupted. He's Did
you see Dallas Buyers Club?
Yeah, I saw that, but I was just like,
oh my god!
Wasn't he an urban legend too?
Don't remember.
It was like a 1999, 2000 movie. It was
Requiem for a Dream.
It was an urban legend.
Yeah, but then his I didn't buy his accent. He acted well in that. That was a really great movie.
He is like 100% method, dude. Like he hasn't even seen any of his movies.
If his voice was a little different for that New York accent, I probably would have bought it better. But like to me, the actual acting was.
That's just one of my favorite movies.
But anyways, to get back to it, I was just like, okay, Batman's older, but the Joker isn't. What's up with that? Obviously, they're planning stuff that we don't know about. Doesn't matter.
Exactly. That's
Jason
why
Todd theory could be completely wrong. But like I'm saying, to me, I thought a great older Joker, if they ever got to do like the full-on Dark Knight Returns style Joker, would have been Willem Dafoe.
That was pretty amazing. When a lot of people would just go, "Oh, it's a Green Goblin ripoff."
Yeah.
He's just doing the Green Goblin.
I mean, but he was kind of like that. And,
Exactly.
Kind of like multiple
Like,
personalities.
but what you're saying about being a younger Joker, Jared Leto is actually almost just as old as Ben Affleck.
But it's like...
He still looks young.
Yeah, he still looks really young, but they're like the same age.
Good,
like,
good for you and your genetics, Jared Leto. Sorry.
But I mean, like... I think...
Like he fucking listens
I
to
mean,
this.
all the evidence against it is pretty strong. Like, you know, it's like, okay, he's got the tattoos, he's got the J on his face. He looks a little younger than what Ben Affleck's...
Batman's supposed to be.
The only tattoo on him that I really liked was the ha 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 across like the pec / arm.
Yeah.
That's the main. I'm like, if you just had that tattoo, I'd be.
That'd be pretty cool. But people are talking about like that wing that's kind of coming up like this. Off of his, like,
exactly. That could also possibly.
Yeah.
But what also makes me think that it's not is the fact that they're doing the Suicide Squad thing. You know, with Harley Quinn and all that, and that would just. I don't know. Yeah, I just feel like it would be. I mean, it's something that we haven't seen on screen yet. I mean,
there've been a lot of stories where Robins have become Jokers, like a Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker. Tim Drake, like.
Spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen it.
Oh yeah, spoiler. But
I haven't. I know this.
You know the story, but like Tim Drake gets like the Joker in the past before he dies. The Joker puts like a DNA chip inside Tim Drake. So like at an unspecified point in the future, he becomes like the Joker's. So like he becomes the Joker's like avatar basically. He uploads his consciousness in like genetics into Tim Drake, and he turns into like a Neo Joker. And old Bruce is like, "What the fuck? You're dead. I thought you died like 40 years ago." And then he finds out it's Tim Drake, and then I don't know. It's great. It's awesome how Terry McGinnis beats him. Basically, Terry McGinnis' Batman basically beats the new Joker by making fun of him. Yeah. Like he laughs at the Joker's jokes and then kind of out jokes him, and it kind of drives the Joker nuts, and it gives him the upper hand in defeating him. It was pretty like poetic kind of thing.
Just a little side note, a little sidetrack. Before the Nolan trilogy, they were thinking about doing a Batman Beyond film, and that would have been cool.
That would have been pretty badass.
Especially if Joseph Gordon-Levitt was Terry McGinnis.
Yeah,
I liked the first two, Christopher Nolan's.
Yeah,
Batmans.
Yeah. You're right along the line with most fans.
I just watched the third one.
Yeah, I'm okay with the third. It's mostly just Bane's voice.
God, every fan says that.
And
I don't really
Talia. Talia. I didn't like the Talia. I didn't like Bane's voice.
I didn't like how the Catwoman was.
And I didn't like how Batman.
And she did a good job, but I feel like it was kind of just introduced.
I didn't like how. Fun side note. Sam Raimi wanted Anne Hathaway to play Black Cat, so essentially you saw what probably could have been Black Cat.
Okay. But like I also didn't like how like Mikey was saying a couple of days ago, where the scene where like he's in the pit in the Middle East, and then all of a sudden he escapes. Like when he escapes, like that night he's back in Gotham.
Yeah.
Like how did you get from here to?
He's Bruce Wayne. He knows like international supermodels and stuff. I'm sure if he got to a phone, he'd be like, "Hey, Susan Bankia. I need to get back to Gotham."
To me, he sounded too much like Buffalo Bill.
Oh yeah.
It's like, come on down, Batman. Come on.
You sound like a pilot on an airplane.
Yeah.
We're gonna die.
It's me, burn.
Okay, we're just doing what everyone else is doing and making fun of.
We're derailing our own podcast.
Yeah, just stop listening right now. I'm kidding.
Don't ever stop listening.
Don't ever stop listening.
Yeah. So yeah.
This is something random I kind of wanted to bring up just because I thought it was funny.
Go ahead.
When we talked about starting doing this podcast, I never wanted to get into like politics or all that shit, but
I don't want to either. But
I know this really kind of isn't, but it kind of is. They fired Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Off Celebrity Apprentice.
That's good.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to be the new host.
That's weird.
Isn't that kind of just like...
I don't watch reality shows.
I've never watched an episode of Celebrity Apprentice.
I've walked through the room when The Apprentice was on because my mom's obsessed with reality TV. We tell her, "Mom, these are stupid shows. Yeah. Stop watching Big Brother and The Amazing Race and all these stupid ass shows." But like, it'd be weird seeing Arnold on that show.
So I was like, man, is Donald Trump gonna be like the new Terminator?
Yeah.
You fired. Come here, come over here. You fired.
We shouldn't be saying that because we have to pay him.
No, we don't say.
He'll
that.
probably try to sue us. I mean,
Yeah, because he listens to this.
Yeah.
He has somebody.
He's a fan.
Somewhere along down the ladder somewhere who's going to be listening, and then they're like, "Mr. Trump, sir."
But Conan did a thing where he was talking about like what catchphrases would Arnold Schwarzenegger have for the show instead of "you're fired." He was like, "You're terminated," and the other one was, "You've been totally recalled."
Oh, that's a good one.
I can't remember the other ones, but they kind of just got like different like snippets from his movie and kind of made it into quotes or whatever. But I was like, man, is he like out that much of money? Like, I mean, he just was just the governor of California. Like, how many years ago?
Like 4 or 5 years ago.
And then he just started doing movies again.
Yeah, just Terminator Genesis. I still haven't seen that.
No, I haven't either. It looks pretty cool. I mean,
to me, the thing that like I saw the trailers, or at least one trailer, and the main trailer that I saw was the one that spoiled like the entire movie.
Yeah, the entire fucking
where John Connor is the evil Terminator. I'm like, that would have been such a great idea if you didn't show me in the trailer.
I didn't know that. Like, I must not have seen that trailer. That was John Connor.
Yeah,
that's stupid.
I like to spoil the movie for you.
Like, why would they do that?
Like the fucking trailer did.
Yeah, well, the trailer did it. So
I'm like, that would have been like a logical step to go. If instead of Rise of the Machines, they had John Connor and he was the evil Terminator. I'm like, logically that's a great way to go, story wise. But it'd be hard to with effects. It's hard to beat the T-1000. They tried to with the Terminatrix, but hey, guess what? Just because she's a sexy chick, who's also like a T-1000, but at the same time somehow don't know how she also is like a T-800 kind of thing, mechanical.
Yeah, that was weird. I wasn't really sure what was going on with that Terminator.
Yeah.
So I've said this before, but
her boobs can get bigger at will, though. That's what's important, right?
I feel like instead of rebooting a bunch of these movies and stuff like that, like especially like the comic stuff or the like Terminator and stuff, they should just do cartoons, man.
Oh yeah.
I'm like really big into that still.
Terminator cartoon?
Yeah.
Like a Terminator, like a Terminator.
Like a miniseries.
I don't know if you guys watch anime.
Yeah, more like an anime kind of style.
Like Ghost in the Shell, like a Terminator done in like a style, like a Ghost in the Shell type style. I don't know if you guys ever watched that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That and then there's a bunch of these like Marvel, like
but also
Marvel just needs to release. They need to do everything they can with what they've got. I mean, because they still own quite a bit of what they.
Yeah.
And
they got like live action TV shows and they cartoons.
Marvel owns as far as Spider-Man goes, they still own the rights for the toys and the cartoons. That stuff is all Marvel produced. And that's why like all the Spider-Man cartoons have been pretty awesome. Like I'm not sure if you guys watched those, but
I haven't. Like I saw bits and pieces.
Yeah, I've seen like best of clips where it's like Spider-Man gets like just fucking around.
Yeah, I saw one with like Phil Coulson talking to him for a second. I'm like, oh, Phil Coulson's on it. That's cool. And then I saw another one where like it was a GIF actually, but an animated Spider-Man is going like high-fiving all the Avengers, and then when he gets to Thor smashes him into the camera. And then
that's what's so like funny about like whenever they do like crossovers with like the Avengers and Spider-Man. Spider-Man looks like a little bitch, dude. I mean, they make him like they just make him seem so weak. It's like
well, he's a kid.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, he's like
he's stronger than Captain America.
Yeah, like
yeah.
There was a series that was out, I think, on MTV, and I think they had one season. And Neil Patrick Harris did the voice of Spider-Man, and it was kind of like CG, like video game looking.
Are you talking about the one that was out in like the early 2000s?
Yeah,
I remember seeing.
It was on. I think it was on MTV. Too.
It was MTV. Rob Zombie did the voice of Kurt Connors, a lizard. That was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I really like those, and I think whatever series I think they just did recently, or I think it was Spectacular Spider-Man, kind of showed him in school, and he was with Nova and Iron Fist and all that stuff, and they all went to school together, and it was funny, it was good action, and they also did this like breakaway where he'd break the fourth wall and talking.
Yeah, that also reminds me there's at least a pilot episode that exists, but they were trying to do a while back, trying to groundbreak, I guess you could say, I don't know, but a TV show or a cartoon where like it's the high school like Saved by the Bell 90210 versions of like the Riddler and everybody.
Oh,
Bruce Wayne and they all go to high school together.
Yeah. I like what were people calling that? They're like
that high.
Yeah, something like that.
So people were
Gotham High. I guess.
Yeah, I was going to say it's something like that.
That's just
people were coming up with like a really funny like an insult name for it, but I forget what people were calling it.
Yeah, I saw like some of the character sketches. I'm like, oh, these are some cool looks, but like that's a dumb idea.
It's a stupid idea.
Yeah.
But I still wish MTV did cartoons, man, because I miss like liquid television.
Oh yeah,
MTV is just so
Aeon
bad
Flux.
now,
I should be. I loved Aeon Flux. I should be getting the entire Aeon Flux series on Blu-ray today in the UPS, like in the mail.
Oh, nice.
I'll probably have it when I get home.
Nice.
Awesome.
I love Aeon Flux. I hate the movie, but I love the series.
Hates the movie
because it's nothing like the show.
Exactly.
The show has all this like philosophical stuff going on.
The show is weird and it's a movie, so it can't be too weird.
Like,
otherwise, it'll lose mass appeal and then
the Matrix was philosophical and awesome. They could have done something like that, but like they just went for like a straight sort of like kind of sort of Matrixy rip-off action movie that didn't have any like philosophical stuff in it at all. Mm-hmm. And when the philosophy and everything and the weirdness was like the basis of the entire Aeon Flux miniseries.
And like every episode, she died.
Yeah. And they explained that too. Have you seen that? Like one of the episodes where they kind of sort of, but not really tease why she's coming back in every episode. Where like every time she dies, there's a clone of her that's made.
Yeah.
So and she meets her own clone, and like I think does the clone kill her?
Yeah, they kind of do that in the movie where you realize everyone's just being cloned over and over.
Yeah, she meets her own clone, and like one of them dies, but you don't know if it was the original one or the clone, so you just kind of left wondering like which Aeon is this?
Yeah.
Aeon like delves a lot into like Gnostic mysticism and Gnosticism and stuff like that.
I love that stuff. Yeah.
That's sweet.
That was a great thing about the Matrix too. But the sad thing about
I love Matrix.
Everyone's like, I love the Matrix, but the sequel sucked. I'm like, yeah, of course, because they stopped ripping off Grant Morrison.
Dude,
they ripped off like 98% of the Matrix from the Invisibles.
Matrix 2 is my favorite.
Really?
Out of all of them.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you guys see the video I posted the other day? The film theory video where they explained that Neo isn't the one in the Matrix and it was actually Agent Smith.
Yeah, you posted that.
Did you watch it?
No, not yet.
It makes perfect sense. The movies, even the third movie, makes way more sense if Neo isn't the one and the one's actually Agent Smith, because he makes more sense because it says you have like the one's born in the Matrix. Neo was born in a pod in the real world. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He has to be able to like change the Matrix to fit his like. He's way more adept in changing the Matrix than other like entities. All Neo does that's significant is he can fly. He takes a bullet out of Trinity one time, and he jumps into Smith at the end of the first movie, and kind of that's how he defeats him. Is like he jumps, he explodes him. And that's it. Agent Smith changes the entire fabric of the Matrix by the end of it. He clones himself he is the Matrix by the end of it. Yeah. And the third one is the one has to upload their code has to be reintroduced into the source at Machine City, and that will cause the Matrix to reload, and then that would end the war. When Neo's plugged into the Matrix for the final battle with Agent Smith, he's plugged into the source at Machine City. He's jacked into Machine City, and when Agent Smith defeats him and replicates himself into Neo, he's reinserting his code back into Machine City, into the source, and that's why he explodes and ultimately dies. That's why Agent Smith's defeated at the end, even though he defeated Neo. He still gets defeated because he's fulfilling the prophecy, and the Matrix is reloaded.
I think the only reason Matrix 2 is my favorite is because the Keymaker.
The Keymaker?
He's like my favorite character, dude.
Yeah, he's a good character.
I love that. And I love the whole, last... And I just said the last 30 minutes of that movie is, my favorite. Monica Bellucci. The last 30 minutes of Matrix 2 are probably, my favorite.
All right.
The whole...
Next topic.
Next. next thing. You guys have anything else you want to talk about?
I got some movie news. I don't know if any of you, you're a kaiju fan, right? You like giant monsters and stuff. Godzilla and stuff. The people have been speculating about this for a while, but recently WB got the rights to King Kong. And they have the rights to Godzilla, and they have the rights to Pacific Rim with Legendary. And people are thinking they're going to do a King Kong versus Godzilla versus Pacific Rim kind of crossover thing. And I'm really kind of interested in seeing how that goes.
I mean,
I love the 2014 movie. The
last third of
I really like
Pacific on Guillermo del Toro.
I like Pacific Rim just
it was really
as it is.
It was good.
It was a really good movie, man. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
It was cheesy, but it was good cheesy.
But it was supposed to be cheesy. A lot of people are like, this movie sucks, the story sucks, like people were saying like giant robots and giant monsters would never be able to exist in the real world because of like physics, and they would be crushed under their own weight, and they're like, this movie's stupid. It's like, but I'm like, it's kind of supposed to be.
You can't turn off your brain and enjoy a fucking movie.
That's the thing though nowadays. People. Like,
I like seeing.
That's why everything has to be like everything. Like, that's why I like sci-fi movies and superhero movies are kind of going for like a kind of pseudo super realistic kind of like themes now, because like people are too smart for their own good.
I miss the days when you could just get bitten by a radioactive spider.
Right, man.
Now it's probably gonna be like a spider like injected with like this version of the super soldier serum or something.
Yeah, something stupid like that.
It was one of the test subjects of the super soldier serum.
I liked Charlie Day. He's Charlie Kelly in Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I was watching an interview with him, and he said after he kind of was acting and stuff, and he took a picture of himself and sent it to his wife, and was like, "Holy crap, I look just like Rick Moranis," and, you know. And that's what he said. He kind of just like embraced that and kind of
did a Rick Moranis kind of thing.
In Pacific Rim.
In Pacific Rim.
He's a scientist, dude.
And that also makes when I bring up Rick Moranis. Peyton Reed, who directed the... He tried to get Rick Moranis to be a cameo, or he always thought, like, maybe Hank Pym. He could be the old Hank Pym. Yeah. But I'm like, Rick Moranis is too, just like, he's too animated, I guess you would say. Yeah. I mean, I haven't even seen him in anything recently at all.
I haven't seen him at all.
I don't think he's done anything since Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves.
When they asked him to do Ghostbusters 3 back whenever like all the original Ghostbusters were in line and everything, he's just like, I don't need that. Like I got enough money from Honey I Shrunk the Kids and
I mean those series too.
He quit acting to just pretty much be a dad.
But back to the Godzilla thing is they've talked about it. They've talked about it with like Toho and everything. Yeah. There are talks going on about it because it seems kind of suspicious. Like, then they did Pacific Rim and they did Godzilla. And we just happened to get the right somehow. Even though it's always been Universal before, but somehow they kind of convinced Universal, hey, give us the rights.
Maybe
to this.
if they did like Mecha Godzilla,
but whenever the original Godzilla versus King Kong was kind of terrible, it was a really terrible movie. Even for those kaiju movies, it was really bad.
I still like them.
It made so much money back then.
Dude.
That they're thinking because we could kind of.
I used to have the original King Kong versus King.
I have it on DVD because if I see a kaiju movie, I buy it.
Yeah. I had it on VHS.
Those are all very fun to watch.
I bought it for like $5 at Walmart, I think.
Dude, you forget I had way more VHS than I had.
Oh yeah, you did. You had.
But
I needed room, and I need to get it times. I need to get Blu-ray.
I don't know. I'm a really big kaiju fan. So like, I'm just excited to see what it does for the genre, because the genre kind of died for a while, and then Pacific Rim kind of came along, and people were like, oh, giant monsters, and then Godzilla came along. People were like, oh,
This makes money. Let's make money together.
Yeah, it's growing, and I've always loved like kaiju movies, because like I told you before, my parents used to let me watch whatever, and I would always watch like old school Godzilla movies, and I used to watch like the original King Kong, and I love the Peter Jackson King Kong. That was an amazing movie. Oh, yeah. I love that movie. It was kind of long. It was kind of long.
We need to bring back intermissions, at least in America, for movies that long. Like
it was really.
Because I was holding my pee for literally the last 90 minutes of that movie, because I thought every 10 minutes was going to be the end.
I have the Blu-ray extended version, It's like 4 hours long.
Oh my god.
I have the DVDs.
It's 4 hours long.
What's really cool, what you were saying earlier, like you want to get Blu-rays and stuff, they come with digital copies too,
Yeah,
and they also come with like
I do have Blu-ray.
I'm just saying, it's really cool that they come with both, you know, DVD version and then the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What sucks, like some of my all-time favorite movies that I have are Blu-rays, and I don't have a Blu-ray player. Like every time, I always forget to, like I'll put Minority Report in, I'm like, why isn't this, oh god damn it, it's a Blu-ray.
Yeah.
They're doing a Minority Report series.
Show, yeah.
That seems kind of weird.
It makes sense.
He can predict the future himself, though. He's not using pre-crime technology. It's just him.
Yeah.
Like in his mind, he can predict the future somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, essentially, like what they did was instead of they should have just called it the Golden Man, because that's what Next with Nicolas Cage was. It was an adaptation of the Golden Man. And he could predict the future and so on. So they should have just called it the Golden Man instead of Minority Report.
But I don't know,
because it's also Philip K. Dick. Another cool thing that I heard or that I saw was that they're making a TV show off Man in the High Castle, and that's where Russia / what was it, Japan or whatever, they win World War.
Oh yeah.
And so it's an alternate reality thing.
I've seen.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I've seen trailers for that.
I'm like, oh dude, I love anything Philip K. Dick. I love, and so like I'm a huge Philip K. Dick fan, and
I know there's gonna be a TV series coming out. It's not Philip K. Dick, but it's Michael Crichton. It's a TV series based off of not his book, but his movie Westworld.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna be a TV series based off of Westworld.
Really?
Yeah.
They were talking to Quentin Tarantino about making a remake of that. And he's just like, I don't really have an idea for like that, but I'll think about it. And then like on the Hostel 2 commentary, he's just like, he was talking to the writer like, no, dude, you made the Westworld remake where you go and just kill people. That's it. It's like a freaking like Disney World of just killing people. That's what you did. I don't have to make that.
Like the Westworld teaser, they haven't released an official trailer, but they released like a 30-second teaser. Mm-hmm. It looks pretty like.
I haven't seen it.
It looks pretty crazy.
I saw a promotional.
There's so many good things coming out next year.
Yeah.
TV series and like X-Files in January.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
they've released little brief.
I have to watch that.
What the hell?
Phone's on silent.
Yeah,
bitch.
your phone's silent.
Hey, I didn't realize that. Shut up.
Just kidding.
Shut up.
Oh, because you're not as popular as us.
Yeah.
His face.
Hey.
He is so heartbroken in that split second.
My mom calls me more than anybody else. Like, I mean, I talk to my mom on the phone probably more than I do any of my friends.
Just
you.
Yeah.
Mainly me.
Well, my mom calls me like she usually calls me on my birthday because my birthday is the day before hers.
Okay.
So she's always like, "Hey Rudy, how you doing? What's up?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just I'm here living life."
Does your mom speak English?
Yeah, she speaks broken English.
Yeah.
Which is funny because she speaks English better. What was it? She understands English better than my dad does, and my dad kind of speaks English better than my mom does.
That's funny.
So, yeah. But yeah, moving on.
Yeah, that was just my friend Gary talking about video games.
Nice.
It's like, I want to know how to beat this boss.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the subject.
But the X-Files trailer was the teaser was just really short. Kind of just like it was black. It was like a flashlight showed over and like. Scully pops out of a corner, and then Mulder pops out of a corner, and it's like X-Files. I'm like, God, yes, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That and Twin Peaks are the two of the shows.
Yeah, dude.
I'm so excited.
That's
Twin
gonna be
Peaks.
really good, man.
So many goth chicks on my Facebook are like,
dude,
Twin Peaks.
Dude, next year is gonna be a busy year for like. I'm gonna just save a bunch of money so I can go see every single movie that's coming out because. I just get like gift cards, and just
show that's coming out. Next season of American Horror Story comes out. I love American Horror Story.
Yeah,
I was really into it the first season. I kind of lost interest around the second season.
The thing that like American Horror Story that beat me to the punch to is I wanted to do like I was thinking about at least an outline, a spec outline for a remake of Todd Browning's Freaks. But they
Freak shows, kind of like
they did.
Yeah.
Essentially, I'm like, oh, they beat me.
But I like the kind of. I mean, they're doing something with television that nobody really has ever done before. That it's the same cast each season, but it's a different story.
Exactly. They were trying to do that in film with Halloween. When it got to Halloween, that's why Halloween 3 exists. Is because they were like, oh, let's just take Michael Myers is dead. Let's just have new stories every Halloween movie and just.
Halloween would have done it like no, I can't say that. But did you? MTV is I think it's already out or it's coming out soon. Is the Scream?
Oh yeah. I saw a trailer for that.
Dude,
another Scream movie?
They changed the mask.
They're gonna do a Scream series on MTV.
Why?
Exactly.
And dude, the mask isn't even the same. It kind of looks like Jeepers Creepers and like a scarecrow, kind of like.
Oh, that's weird.
Rest in peace, Wes Craven.
Yeah,
that happened recently.
That's like.
Oh yeah, Wes Craven passed away.
That's what I'm saying, man.
That was a huge bummer when I saw that coming home from work one day, and I was just like checking my Facebook.
Yeah, that's the same thing. I was like, man.
No.
It's like I didn't realize how like.
Do you have any idea like? There's not even that great like horror movies anymore, but like the horror movies that he did, every single one was a fucking classic. Dude,
Scream, I watched that.
Last
really
House
young.
on the Left.
Yeah.
Those Have Eyes. Freaking People Under the Stairs. Pretty much every single movie that he made was a classic. It was original and it was great.
Yeah.
And amazing.
And what's doesn't.
And they were trying to reboot Elm Street again, and he was gonna have creative control on it.
What doesn't make sense to me is like how many scary movies are just so bad. I mean, not so scary. It's usually they're really cheesy and the actors are terrible.
Okay, that's the main.
The Scream movies are like I just love those, man. Like they're so entertaining. They've got a great story.
See, that's the great thing. See, this is what I kind of like. The main movies that I watched when I was little were horror movies. That like the movies that made me want to make movies were John Carpenter's The Thing and Evil Dead 2.
Yes.
And then the movies that made me realize that I could make movies like just like on the fly up by myself if I had a proper team behind me were Clerks and what was the other one?
Blair Witch Project.
No.
The Blair Witch Project.
But anyways, I was just like, oh dude, I could make this by myself, blah blah blah. Anyways, but like, see, that's the thing is like some point like back in the 80s and stuff, you didn't really need story. You just needed cool deaths and so on and so forth. And that's the thing is like most horror now, like the most recent horror movie that I loved and was like original, I was like, great, this is fantastic, was It Follows.
Yeah, I heard that was good.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. Check it out, man.
I watched Insidious the other day, and I thought it was real. I was really surprised how much I liked it, man.
It's hard to have a good and original. Like,
I'm always just really skeptical anytime I watch a horror movie now because they're not.
They're all basically they all kind of have the same atmosphere now.
Yeah,
they're all trying to capitalize off each other.
What sucks is that now audiences, thanks to like torture porn, Saw, and all that, now people just go. And it kind of got to that point like in the 80s as well.
Yeah.
/ like early 90s. Where it's like, it got to the point where people just went to go see assholes die.
Yeah. And
they didn't go to see smart people try to survive.
Yeah.
That's what I like seeing. That's why, Scream's good.
Yes.
And, like Idle Hands, although, there are dumb characters in it, but for the most part, it's just smart people trying to survive. And that's why, to me, like, Chronicle's good. Cloverfield's good.
Cloverfield, I love Cloverfield.
Chronicle's really good. It's not a horror movie, yeah.
I love Cloverfield. Like, what's a fucking movie?
Who's in it?
Cabin in the Woods.
Oh yes, Cabin in the Woods.
It's actually funny too.
Yeah,
exactly.
They're basically making fun of the horror tropes of like the idiots in the woods.
It's a love letter, but at the same time, it's kind of a satire. But
there's a lot of symbolism in that, like how the ancient one, the ancient god, the evil gods that are like for making people do sacrifices for them, are like they're actually the gods are a metaphor for the audience.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wanting like. They have a certain expectation for like the filmmaker, and they keep shelling out the same crap every year.
Exactly, that's the great thing about like what I'm saying. Like whenever a truly like smart, not necessarily great, but a truly smart horror movie comes out, like it takes an old trope and it gives like some explanation about it.
Yeah.
With like Joss Whedon's form of like Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yes. Yeah.
And Cabin in the Woods is he's like, why does the blonde bimbo keep dying? Let's give a logical explanation, or logical reason, or have her like try to take back the night, as it were.
Yeah.
The blonde bimbo to how make her smarter than she is in most horror movies, and that's what's great about like It Follows is that it takes like something that's just like you see all the time in horror movies, which is like the creature, the bad guy, whatever the darkness is coming after you like at a slow pace.
Yeah.
and you keep running and running and running, but somehow it keeps catching up to you, and it comes at a slow pace. And that's the main thing. I'm not gonna spoil that much, guys, because I want you guys to watch it. I want you guys listening to watch it if you haven't already. Yeah. Where it's just like it's taking that trope where it's like some sort of darkness. It keeps going slow at a slow pace, and it keeps catching up to you no matter what. It's just gonna keep coming after you until you are dead. And there's like rules of like how it works and so on and so forth in the movie and everything, and it's all like a tight knit. That's another great thing about well-constructed stories, let alone horror movies, is that it's its own world, and all the rules fall in line with each other. Like, you can say whatever you want, like, about, certain cheesy movies or whatever, but, like Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight, really kick-ass movie. It's its own world. It has setup. It has payoff. The characters are good. Some of them are stereotypical, but they work within the world that the movie is set in. Mm-hmm. Now, that's the thing of why, like, whenever movies don't work or whatever, because it's like, I don't like this part or that part. It's because usually 98% of the time, because a producer came in and said, hey, we want you to change this and this and this and this. And they're like, well, it doesn't really work in the world that I created. They're like, no, you're changing it. You're changing it. It's changed. It's too late. Blah, 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 blah. And so it's just like, wait. You set up back then, like, that's one of the things, main example, World War Z. I love World War Z, the book.
Yeah, the book I love it.
Exactly. To me, it would have been a great miniseries, or it would have been a great, like, if they did it the same way, like, they opened District 9, where it was like, the opening was like a mockumentary, and then it leads into...
I love how they did that.
I love that. Was awesome how
they did that. Or it was just like, just the basic, like, kind of like anthology that mixes and matches, like a Pulp Fiction style anthology, where it's like 3 different stories, but they all come together.
Yeah.
That would have been great. Right. What pissed me off, because of, they did change and so on and so forth about the World War Z, because I have a copy of the World War Z script, because I also, for those of you listening, I also have a screenplay collection. I actually have Billy Madison right over there on my table over there. Cool, I didn't see that. I have an autographed hard copy by Arnold Schwarzenegger of Junior.
You do?
I do.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of screenplays,
he signed it before he was governor. Continue.
Or scripts.
Governor.
Screenplays and scripts. My parents actually found the original copy of the pilot for the first episode of King of the Hill.
Oh, really?
They have it because the what was it? Was it the drama club? Drama club went on a field trip to Texas or something, and they visited a studio, and somebody from the drama club stole the script. They stole one of the scripts off the table, and they left. And we have one. We don't know if it's an actual original one, but we have the plot outline and everything of the pilot episode of King of the Hill.
That's really cool.
It's funny.
Yeah, if you read the World War Z script, it's great. At least the copy I have, because obviously there's multiple versions because of revisions and so on and so forth. I also have multiple copies of Marvel movie Thor, and it's 192 pages because of all the revisions. At least the last one that I just glanced over, and I posted a picture on my Facebook of the written in Stan Lee cameo, which is pretty funny.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I kind of got sidetracked. But yeah, creating your own world, setting it up, paying it off. Here's a good example: Captain America: Winter Soldier opening. Steve Rogers is doing his running, keeps saying on the left, and then there's kind of that's how he meets Falcon and so on and so forth. Pay it off at the end with he's in the hospital and Falcon's listening to the album that he suggested to bring him up to date on music and so on and so forth. And just sitting there, just spending time with his good friend, even though he's not quite conscious, he's there for him.
Yeah.
And then Steve Rogers, he just wakes up and then he just goes on your left, and they look at each other and you're like, oh, dude, that's true friendship and bonding and so on and so forth. Set up payoff. That's the key.
Going back to kind of King of the Hill, not really. But Mike Judge, dude, he is one of those people that are out there now. He hasn't done a bad thing.
Anything really.
Everything he comes out with is a cult classic.
Yeah.
And I just got done watching the first 2 seasons. I think it's 2 seasons of Silicon Valley. It's his new TV show.
Yeah, I really want to see that.
Dude,
I haven't seen it.
It is really, really good. It's basically Silicon Valley is a place in I'm not sure what
Silicon Valley's in California.
It's a Facebook and a bunch of other places are started
and also
up
the
there.
Silicon Valley is like right next to where they shoot porn.
Yeah.
But it's also something valley, which is pretty funny.
But anyway, it's about this guy who they all work at this company together, and he develops the software, and it's ends up becoming really popular amongst all these, and he's like getting all this money and stuff, and then the company he used to work for is copying his program because he let somebody at the place look at it just to show him how it worked.
Oh, you mean Apple?
No, it wasn't Apple. I don't know. I forget the. But it's got T.J. Miller in it. Martin Short is in it.
Wait.
No, Martin, not Martin Short. Martin.
What is his last name? Shit.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, he's in Undeclared. And he's the part of the Judd Apatow crowd. Yeah.
Yeah, he's.
He was in the Edward Norton Incredible Hulk too. He was the guy that Bruce Banner paid off with pizza, and he kind of waved.
Oh yeah.
That was him.
Are you sure it's not Short? Is his last name?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna Google it. Go ahead.
Martin Scorsese. Anyway,
I want to say Martin Freeman, but that's a different.
It's a really funny show. Each episode ends with like a twist to where it's like it kind of just leaves you wanting more, and plus, it's just super fucking hilarious. What's the other guy's name? He's the main character. Do you ever see Splinterheads?
Me? Splinterheads?
Actually,
Yeah,
no. It's been recommended to me and I haven't seen it.
It's a good movie. I don't want to.
I need to start writing down all this shit you guys.
Yeah, I know, right? There's some things you said too that I don't think I've even seen, but so he develops this software, and then the company he used to work for and then they try to sue him because he, saying he did that on company time, and he's like, no, I didn't. I never worked on it there, but it's really cool. It's just watching the show develop, and it's and then the guy who plays Gabe on The Office, he's in it too.
Martin Starr.
I was close.
Okay.
2 hours. Yeah, it did start with an S.
Martin Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese.
Oh, another funny guy that's on it is I'm sorry if I'm butchering his name. Kumali Nanjiani.
Yeah,
Kumali
dude, he is seriously the funniest person on that show too. Him and T.J. Miller are just like so hilarious.
I saw him on the special features of one of the seasons of Portlandia, where he's like.
Let me look up Silicon Valley and figure out Thomas Middleditch.
Thomas Middleditch, yeah.
That's his name. He's like the main.
That's how I found out his name was Martin Starr.
Sorry.
Yeah, he's a really, really funny comedian too.
Yeah, Kumar Abu Jabi or whatever. Dude, he is so funny, man. Like, and he's a pretty big part in the show. It's about basically all these guys who live together in this, and they're all like programmers and they write code and stuff. And
I'm looking at this, the cast and crew on IMDb right now, and the girl. I haven't seen the show. I've seen her in other stuff, but it's got a picture of Amanda Crew, who plays Monica, and she's red haired, and she's got like a yellow flannel shirt. I'm like, she would have been a good April O'Neil.
Oh yeah.
Amanda Crew, yeah, she's got like she's got more of a burgundy.
Exactly, not freaking just
red,
like slightly tinted red Megan Fox shit.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
You know what would have been a great April O'Neil?
If they never made it at all.
Greta Gerwig. She's in Greenberg. She's in Frances Ha. She's actually in like a bunch of movies, and another really great indie horror movie called House of the Devil. It's like a great throwback to like 80s horror of the cult horror movie.
Yeah, it just already upsets me that they're already working on a second one.
Second one, what?
TMNT.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, no.
Well, hey,
I was like,
Bebop
I seriously like I was like this the whole time watching that movie.
Dude,
so goddamn frustrated.
Their origin is so long and convoluted. I'm like, why didn't you just take the cartoon?
I've been avoiding it, but I know the plot line.
It's like, what, 10 seconds?
Spoiler alert if you haven't listened to that, but it's like the turtles were April O'Neil's childhood pets.
Oh, I think I've heard. I think my friend Gary said something about that.
Yeah.
Like, and then weren't they like genetically engineered?
Yeah, like some. God, dude.
But hey, the turtles.
The turtles look pretty sick.
The turtles they didn't look that great, but their essence. Like
I heard the personalities were really good.
Except the fact that Johnny Knoxville voiced.
That bothered you?
Yes, 100%, dude. Voiced Donatello, right? Or did
No,
Raphael?
Leonardo. He voiced
Leonardo, yeah. But it just didn't. It didn't. To me, it didn't. It's like all I could see is like Johnny Knoxville. And like I feel like he was just like behind the camera. His voice of Michelangelo was like perfect. That's like probably like my favorite part of it. It's just.
That's my favorite.
The guy who played Donatello, he's actually like he was in. He's actually like more of like a makeup guy. He's like usually like you know like Doug Jones.
Yeah.
Famous,
He was in.
Like one of those guys. He was in Men in Black 2. He was the Rockadoodle type alien, and he was the speed freak postman whenever he goes to.
I mean, they cast all the turtles pretty well. The turtles.
I didn't. Galaxy Quest.
The turtles are pretty cool.
Galaxy Quest, yeah.
But at the same time, it's like. Well, it made sense for them to look like that because this is a future or a re-edition. But at the same time, it's like they're way too big.
Yeah,
dude.
they're like linebackers.
Giant.
They're
dude, I know.
humongous.
And it was like, man, they look all right. I mean, but I felt like it was just too much. You know what I mean?
I feel like they're too scary for kids.
Yeah.
They look too weird.
Yeah.
No, they weren't.
I want the old freaking puppets.
Animatronic.
The animatronic turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja. That's a hard. Teenage Mutant Nipple Turtles or whatever. Sorry.
Yeah.
The second one was probably my favorite.
Of the originals.
When they're in Japan.
Yeah. The first one was like 98% adapted from the original comics though. Yeah. Except like in the original comics, like they drank beer and they cussed.
Yeah.
The one thing that bothered me the most about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is that they were ordering pizza from Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're in New York. You've got like all these different pizza options.
Yeah, these original movies, it was Domino's.
Yeah, they have like these world famous pizzerias and stuff in New York.
Yeah, I mean,
they order from the
at least,
chain.
I mean, okay, it's just probably for money, but at least just make some shit up. It's like
maybe.
I just always like wonder how the creators feel about these new movies. They're just like, damn it, what do we do?
They're probably just sitting back counting cash.
Yeah,
they're
just saying they probably don't really pay attention.
This is what we get for making fun of Daredevil.
It's like what they think of the cartoon versions, the new cartoon. They look really
stupid, dude. It's like
they're
too cartoony.
They're 3D animated. They're too cartoony.
They're way too cartoony.
I'm okay with it.
The comics have been
end up talking about. You guys are like, fuck this, fuck that. I'm like, I'm okay with it. Like you guys are just way too.
Yeah, you're sort of like the middle man.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about me. Like,
fuck you, Rudy.
That's it. No, when I was talking, I remember when I was talking to someone about the new Star Trek movies, and they're like, no, it's not canon. Fuck this, fuck canon. I'm like, dude, I like.
Did you ever watch Star Trek movies before? There's just like two people like in a room just like talking.
And it's airy and stuff. There are good ones, Obviously, the original Wrath of Khan is great and so on and so forth. But I'm like, dude, I like cover songs. When there's a really good cover song, there's a really fucking good cover song.
Yeah,
That's it. This Ninja Turtle is just a fucking cover of the shit.
If anything, the new Star Trek movies has made me more interested in Star Trek.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, J.J. Abrams did such a good job.
But the only thing that kind of bugs me is they took away like the speculative fiction aspect of Star Trek.
Yeah.
They took away like some like the philosophical stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they've got to also kind of try to appeal to newer crowds.
Exactly.
And that's kind of what...
I think that's
we don't want to think about issues whenever you're blowing up spaceships.
I think that's more what like
it's too serious for me to stream.
That's more what the hardcore fans of the original series were mad about. Is they kind of dumbed it down for general audiences.
Yeah,
but it was so good though.
It was good.
The first Star Trek movie is a fucking great heroic journey tale.
Oh yeah, it's phenomenal.
It's just like perfect.
Well, I think that's all for today, boys.
Really? You're gonna cut
us off like that?
I'm cutting you off like that, you motherfuckers. Well, we've been already talking for a while, so...
Yeah, we've been talking for a fair bit here.
Yeah.
Probably far beyond like the hour limit we wanted to say.
Yeah,
we only probably talked like about one of the things
we actually want to talk about.
I talked
but
about
that's what's great about
I wanted to talk about.
So that's good.
Because there's still more we can talk about next week.
Yeah, next time. That's generally the kind of podcasts I like, are the ones that have topics, but they go off on like
I already knew it that we, like, especially when me and Rudy talk, we always go off into 14 million tangents until we get back.
I think it's more entertaining.
They're all good.
It's more entertaining that way, and it's less like the less like rigid structure there is. I think it's more entertaining, and it's more like if there's a lot of structure, I think it feels forced.
Yeah. Yeah, that's hard if you haven't been doing it a long time, you know. After, you know, if we do more than... I plan on doing as many episodes as possible.
Yeah,
same.
So, I mean, the further we get into it, it'll be easier to
At current, this is my main creative outlet.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird, because it's just me talking shit about shit.
This is basically the only thing I do. Like, this is the only major thing I do outside of work now.
But it's recording it, though.
Yeah,
it's like
amazing.
Yeah, dude, the second that you created a Facebook page, that, like, became my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's like... Anytime I'm around friends, this is usually what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm talking about, too.
Yeah. Why not record it and see what other people think about it?
It's just been something I've been wanting to do for a while. And it's kind of crazy it's been happening.
The story thing, remember?
What story thing?
Remember the idea that we had?
I don't have all the necessary...
No. Guys, go to our Freak Fiction Facebook page and give us a...
Person,
a
place and a thing.
And we will create a short story, and we will act it out for you at the end of the next podcast.
Yeah.
So, folks, please go to our Freak Fiction Facebook page if you're not already there.
Hit that big old sexy like button, too.
Exactly, and share button as well.
And share that shit.
Especially if you like this. And we will hear some original material from our hearts to your ear holes.
It should be something fun to do, you know, we'll make it goofy to where we're kind of reading a story.
Yeah, just so we're not kind of rambling on about...
And we'll pick the best of the three, maybe just from one person or just different people.
If anybody
even gets this far into the podcast.
If you dig it, we'll use it, yeah.
So hit that big old sexy like button.
And share button.
And share. You gotta share it. You gonna share it?
I'm sharing it.
Share it with your grandma, share it with your aunts and uncles and your nieces.
Share it like your grandfather's World War II VD.
And donate to our Patreon. We don't have a Patreon.
No, we don't.
Also, if you have a local business...
Yeah, if you have a local business or if there's anything... We're not looking for money. It's not what it is about at all.
We don't really...
We would like to support our... we'd just like to support our local businesses here in Tulsa and the Broken area.
Exactly. We're here for you, folks.
So go ahead and go to Facebook.com/Freaks and Comics. I think it's what
I think
God damn it! You don't even know
you don't even know the URL.
That's what it is. It's
Freaks and Comics.
Freaks and Comics.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
dickhead.
Well, if they fucking found this, they know where our Facebook page is.
But what if they're just listening to this off of SoundCloud?
Yeah. What if
that's what Google's for?
What if...
I don't know what to do.
Have a good night, freaklings.
Yeah. See you later, bitches.
Have a good one.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're not bitches. You guys are...
Sexy bitches.
I just need to stop this.
Oh my God. Have a good night, folks. Thanks for listening. Outro music now.
Boom.
Stay tuned next week for more Freak Fiction.